Monday.
Money Mondays. We do this 3:30 Central Standard every week.
Every Monday. We only miss 2 a year, and we
Apparently.
missed one 2 weeks ago for Memorial Day.
Yeah, well, that's a legitimate reason.
And then
we'll let
what
that
was the other one
slide.
we skipped this year?
It was because we had the freeze.
Oh yeah, we had the freeze. And the whole
we
city
couldn't even
shut
get on
down.
the highway. So we would have come, but
But-
Ferris was scared to drive, and I mean, I was here, and he just didn't show up.
Ben was happy. You know, he thinks it's the one day a year that he outworks me.
Funny. All right, man. Well, let's get right into it. So
What are we
we're
talking about today,
money
Ben?
waste?
What are we talking about today?
Should you invest in crypto or real estate in 2021?
And are they comparable? Is the other really big question too.
No. There's definitely some pros and cons. We're going to get into some of the stuff. We want this to be an interactive show. So if you guys like something about crypto versus real estate or have some comments, please drop those in there. Give us a like, give us a share. That's our biggest compliment. And ultimately, whenever we get to the Q&A section, it doesn't have to be about crypto, it doesn't have to be about real estate. We just talk about it in general. Just ask questions, right? It's an ask me anything part of our show, right? So we're going to get right into this. So in this episode, we will learn the differences between crypto and real estate investing, and ultimately which investment vehicle will make you more money. Oh, that's a bold statement.
That's a bold
That's
statement.
a very bold statement. But let's get into it today's show, all right? Shanna's out there laughing at me. Come on, you're supposed to keep this professional, Shanna.
Well, it's the incompetence. It just exudes off of you, Ben. She just
Hey,
makes it hard,
I
you know?
read that perfectly, all right? So what exactly is cryptocurrency, man? You're the tech guy. You've been
Yeah, it's
known
funny.
about this
So
for a
I
while.
dug into this back in 2012. I think is when I just got into it. And all cryptocurrency is it's become kind of a digital currency, but really, what does that even mean, right? I'm sure most people already know, have heard of Bitcoin, right?
Yep.
All it is think of it as basically with any currency, right? I hand you a dollar. There is a verification that dollar is legitimate, and there's kind of the verification that that was my dollar, right?
Yep.
Cryptocurrency does the same thing. So there is essentially a way to identify a piece of currency, right? A coin, so to speak, right?
Yep.
It's got its own little unique identifier. And there's a transaction log, right? And there's a way to verify that if I give it to you, I'm the one that had the right to it, right? And what makes, to me, whenever I dug into crypto, the thing that actually made it really interesting is basically the way it gets verified, right?
Yeah.
More than half the machines are all out there computing. What is mining? They're actually doing computations,
That's what I was going to
right?
ask. So
But
people
out
are
there-
like, what is crypto mining? They think it's like you're out there with an axe or something, right? Like you're mining gold. Talk about the mining process. real
No,
quick.
I mean, essentially they are doing work, right, which is verifying the transaction, and in return for that, they're getting paid for it. That's the simplest of ways to think about it.
And they get paid in crypto.
And the more mathematical ways, they're figuring out unique, what's it called? They're figuring out basically unique numbers that are non-divisible. But anyway, that's a long,
Let's
that's
not
a
get
more
crazy here,
mathematical
all right?
thing.
All right. So I would say it's also, it's a decentralized way of, exchanging.
And the only way to hack crypto is one of two things, right? Either, we get into quantum physics and you can do these infinite amounts of calculations needed to guess, or you own more than half of the hashing power, right? So half the computers in the world out there that are doing crypto mining, so to speak. If someone has more than 50% of it, then, because the way it works is basically if I'm a computer and I say something and you're a computer and you say something and someone else is a computer and say something, right? Basically, what is true is the superset of them, right? The ones that say the most are correct, right? So if
It's a majority.
It's a majority thing, right? And so,
Okay.
but if I am the majority, I'm more than half, then I can say whatever I want. I can say, oh, Ben gave his coins to Ferris, and now I have your coins.
And I
right,
think-
but there's so much scale out there now. It's so
It's
popular.
decentralized,
It's
right?
extremely,
Right.
it's
So,
very, very difficult.
It's not controlled by a government. It's not controlled by, an LLC or an entity or a company or a firm, right? There's all these kind of more mom and pop mining operations. Now there's obviously bigger ones out there too, right? That are going to have, hundreds of these mining, operations right there under, some kind of data center. But the point is that it's decentralized. It's not controlled by, say, the United States government or the Chinese government. And, because of that, it got a little bit of a bad rap at first, and I think people ultimately still use it for nefarious ways. So obviously, that's why, people are trying to wrap their arms around it from a government, regulation standpoint. But it's also a great way to get off of being dependent on a certain currency as well, right? Right now, what's happening with the federal government is that they're printing a bunch of dollars, right? So that's leading to inflation. That means that a purchasing power of that dollar is decreasing, right? And so, if you can have, cryptocurrency, it doesn't have to necessarily be Bitcoin, maybe it's something else, right? Be some store of wealth and be a way for people to exchange goods and services and get paid in that way, then that's a good thing, right? And ultimately, we're not here to debate politics or what's right or what's wrong. We're just talking about this from an investment standpoint. So we wanted to give you the background on what exactly cryptocurrency is, because a lot of people just simply don't understand it. So
we all know Ben is wrong, so.
Hey, whoa.
So there's no debate needed there.
Ouch. That was the first zing, all right? You got to get the ball joke in here pretty quick, all right? Pros and cons of real estate, all right? So some pros. A lot of people that follow our show, we talk about real estate. We're real estate guys. We love multifamily. It's a tangible asset, right? You've got appreciation on your real estate. It's going up, right? You've got tax benefits that are tied to commercial real estate. You've got cash flow that goes along with it. You've got long-term returns that are fairly stable, right? I mean, and don't get me wrong, COVID probably slowed down a lot of people's returns, but over time, real estate tends to go up, right? So that's some pros of real estate. So let's talk about some of the cons, right? There's a lot of operational maintenance that goes into at least multifamily, right? You're going to have some staff. You're going to have some
I do
payroll.
a lot of work operating my Bitcoins.
Oh,
no. Really just set and forget it, right?
I think we both forgot that we had some, right? Or at least I did. And then,
Ben forgot that he had a 2,000 stashed away from a while ago,
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I have that Coinbase account. But anyway, so there's a lot of maintenance. You're working your real estate portfolio every day, right? Not always that liquid, right? You got a big $20, $30 million apartment complex, right? And there's not going to be like, hey, you want to buy it? Oh, yeah, you want to buy it? Okay, cool, right? It's not like a quick transaction like a stock or in what we're about to talk about, cryptocurrency. Sometimes it can be, high barrier of entry, right? It can cost a lot of money to get into real estate, right? Even if you're buying a single family home, at this point, especially with where prices are, you're probably at least $100,000 in, right? Unless you're trying to buy somewhere that's a little bit less desirable, maybe you can get something for 5 figures. But I'd say at least $100K of that, you're going to have to at least come up with probably 20% of that. So you're going to have at least $20,000, and even to get into a single family home, right? And some people don't have that, right? So stocks and cryptocurrency is going to be a little bit less barrier of entry. Right?
And maybe one other thing to add is a pro for me of real estate is its valuation. It's valued based on performance, really.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
There's a mathematical way to know what your real estate is worth, so to speak.
On
right?
the commercial
it's
side.
A little bit of market. Even the residentials are still comps, right? Whereas like there's not as much of an emotional piece to real estate, right?
No, it's true.
So, but on the commercial side, absolutely, right? I know my real estate is worth approximately, right?
Well, that, and I love that you can force appreciation too, right? We've talked about on this show, right? The market will dictate somewhat what your property is going to be worth, but if you come in and you're operating it way more efficiently than the next guy or gal, you're putting in higher finishes that are then resulting in higher rent, the value of your real estate is going to go up. You're actually pushing the appreciation and pushing the value, which is important, right? You're not going to get that on some other stuff, right? So let's talk about some of the pros of cryptocurrency, right? Low barrier of entry. I mean, there's all kinds of exchanges these days. I've got a Coinbase account. There's other ones. There's a lot. Just be careful. Some of them are a little shady. There's some long-term potential. I think what me and Ferris like about it is not necessarily the currency component, right? But the blockchain technology that Bitcoin and some of and this other technology is built upon, right? Which is the verification of a transaction, right? So there's a ton of long-term potential in this outside of just being a currency, right? No maintenance. Like we said, at least I forgot that I had Bitcoin. So until it started going on a tear, and I was like, oh, I got that. And I haven't even touched it, right? And I think that's going to be my rainy day fund. Hopefully it doesn't go back down to 3,000 again when I bought it last, but who knows, right? At the end of the day, this is your plan. It's like going to Vegas, folks. There's extremely high risk getting into cryptocurrency, and you should allocate, I'd say, no more than 1% to 3% of your whole entire investment portfolio to something like this, right? And assume that you're going to lose every single penny of it. So I want to just put that out there as kind of a disclaimer. But no maintenance, you don't have to do anything. You buy it and forget about it. Potential hedge to inflation, who knows, right? I think that's where some people are saying, hey, is this a store of wealth? Could this, if I put my money in Bitcoin, could this go up in value versus the purchasing power of $1? Possibly, yes. So I think that people are talking about this as a potential hedge, right? And then, like we talked about, the technology behind it, there's additional applications that it could potentially be used for. I think this is something that's going to be, probably over the next 10 to 20 years, could be fleshed out. There's going to be a lot of things, right? From title work to real estate to a lot of other things and other applications. And I'm kind of excited. That's really what I'm excited about. Not necessarily Bitcoin itself, right? Which is kind of the grandfather of them all. But some of these newer coins and some of the applications.
I mean, when I first learned about crypto, the interesting thing was the blockchain.
Yeah.
Right. All the things that can be built on. We're already starting to see that, right? Around how people are trying to do real estate in the blockchain and how to do. It becomes a creative tool where, again, you're not just dependent on some centralized government organization.
Yep.
It's publicly documented, right, around kind of what the audit trail is, so to speak. So, TBD on that. But really, that leads to the first con, right?
Yeah.
Very volatile.
It's extremely volatile.
It's all emotional driven, whether it's Elon Musk saying X, and today crypto's back up because he said, actually, we will start to accept Bitcoin, right? It's emotional driven, right? There is no mathematical way to value it.
Yeah.
It's just about, hey, the future potential of it, and is it Bitcoin or is it a different currency, right?
Yeah, is it Ethereum? Is it Litecoin? Is it whatever it might be, right? There's 1,000 different ones out there. Some are like Dogecoin are really kind of, they were started off as a joke. You have to realize that some of these coins, folks, are just, they're essentially just putting out there just, to see if any sucker is going to buy them.
You don't believe in Doge?
At the end of
Long
the day,
story.
We're not getting into the politics of some guy that built it around his dog that he loved, right?
It was a meme on Reddit.
A meme on Reddit, all right? So, bottom line, it's high risk. Come on in, guys. It's high risk. It's not a tangible asset, right? At the end of the day, real estate, is, you can look, you can feel it, you can kick the tires on it, right? Just like a stock, at the end of the day, you can't hold that in your hand. Now, in the past, yes, you had stock certificates. We don't do that crap anymore, right? It's all online. Cryptocurrency is the exact same thing, right? So those are some of the cons that, we see, some of the pros. Same thing with real estate. If you know of any, drop them in the comments. Love to hear from folks.
Yeah, so Money Mondays is every Monday, 3:30 Central. People have comments, questions, feel free to drop them. We usually spend about 20 minutes presenting and 10 minutes open Q&A. It doesn't have to be about this topic. And if you have ideas for future topics, let us know.
Please. We're running out of things to pull out of the hat here. So we want this to be interactive.
Got a never-ending list, my friend.
Never ending. No. We get a lot of these topics from people that just kind of reach out to us. So please, if you have any that you'd like us to talk about, let us know. We'd love to kind of go through them. So, I think in summary, right, real estate is a proven way to build wealth over time, right?
Get rich, slow game, but you are getting rich.
Whereas
crypto, you could ride it to the moon and make a lot of money, possibly, but you also may lose all your money just as fast. So.
And I think it all boils down to investing is all about diversification. Like I had said earlier, right? 1 to 3%. Go play with crypto. Go play with an alternative investment, right? That might be higher risk, higher reward. And I think you just need to realize that you could potentially lose all that money, right? So as long as you're keeping that allocation to a minimum and you're ready to ride the wave, go for it, right? We know some people that have made a lot of money on Bitcoin and on cryptocurrency, right? But you need to diversify your portfolio, and that includes stuff like cryptocurrency. That includes not only stocks, that includes, real estate, right? And within real estate, as everybody knows, there's 1,000 different niches that you can get into, right? And I think you should do different things within real estate too. Right? So we're not here to say which one's better. I know the crypto bros are going to kind of pile on probably and say, hey, they've made 10,000% return and real estate's only made, 1,000 in the same time, right? So therefore crypto's better. I think that some of that is because of the newness of cryptocurrency and people piling into it because they're seeing it as almost a get-rich-quick scheme, whereas real estate's been around since the dawn of time. Right? It's proven, it's there, it's tangible, and it's going to continue to go up over time. And so you can kind of see which way I'm leaning, even though I have some crypto. But
we also have some real estate. So.
We have a little bit of real estate too. So drop it in the comments. Let us know. What are you, crypto or what are you, real estate? Let's know. So open Q&A.
So let's see. It's a couple of comments. So Jason Contreras, crypto is more like gambling. I meant investing in crypto is like gambling. Yeah. It is like
No, it
gambling.
absolutely is.
You can hit it big, or you could not hit it very big.
No, I mean, I think that's important to understand is that, that's why I want you to keep your portfolio allocation down to a minimum, right? And I talked about it, and what percentage of portfolio do you allocate? Once again, 1 to 3%, tops. Somebody say a little bit more, I'd say you're probably being a little bit, aggressive in that. And as far as real estate, anywhere from 20 to 30% of your portfolio.
And let's see, our buddy Amanda, who, by the way, did an event Sunday. Congrats! I told her to not make it out there, but
you didn't get the invite.
I got the invite. Did you go out there?
No, I was with
You
Lily.
go out there, yeah.
You
need a little more of a heads up, and I'll make it.
No.
But we'll hopefully see you soon. We're going to launch our meetup that we've announced a month ago.
July 1st. We're
July
excited.
1st, biggest meetup in Houston.
Oh, that's a bold statement.
I know.
That's a bold statement.
So let's see. So Amanda says, do you think smart contracts on blockchain technology are going to impact real estate? Yes. Right. There's already people exploring it. There's already ideas out there. Now TBD on what sticks, right? Like just title in general. How does title work today? Well, it's really a contrived,
you're verifying the chain of custody.
Similar to a blockchain.
You're verifying the chain of custody all the way back to the original landowner is what's happening. So you could just as easily do that on blockchain. I think that is probably the most realistic way that it's going to get included into real estate. But one thing that we're talking with some folks about partnering with is, you can use it as a form to, potentially sell your shares too on the secondary market, right? So you get paid your distributions in crypto, and then you're able to sell that crypto off after a certain lockout period. And so it makes real estate more liquid, right? Whereas before you'd have to find somebody and there wasn't really a secondary market for the shares that you own in LLC. That would open up the liquidity piece into the secondary market, which is huge. So I see that as another way that it's going to be introduced into real estate as well.
Yep.
Right?
So let's see. So Trevor says, got lucky, put some money in, went way up, took out twice what I put in, and what's left, ride and hope it keeps going, but don't have a clue what or why, so prefer real estate. Yes. As mentioned, you can make more sense of it.
Yeah, and absolutely, and I think that's a great point that Trevor makes, right? If you've already doubled your money, take your money off and just play with the house's money from then on out, right? If you lose it, at least you didn't lose your initial investment, because what we saw was crypto kind of had a run up a few years ago, and then it dipped, and that's when I actually bought it, and I think it went from close to 20 all the way back down to I think 3,000 or 4,000, right? Which is where I bought it at, right? And then look, it shot up to 60,000, then it came back down to 30. It's wildly, there's not a lot of rhyme to reason to it. I think some people do say that they can trade it. I would probably question some of that because, market, movers like Elon Musk can come in and blow up anybody's charts. Just by the way that he talks about it.
I'm also a market mover.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah. I'm sure you are, buddy. I'm sure you are. So let's go. If we don't have any other questions. So we're talking Ultimate Houston Real Estate Investing Event. It's the biggest thing to meetups to Houston that we've ever seen. We're so excited about it.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, we have a big meetup here in Houston. Had a big meetup before COVID. Right, we'd get 50 to 100 people out on average, and we're kicking that back off. So July 1st. Right in time for 4th of July. Come on out. Ben's giving away free laptops to every attendee on him, so feel free to come check it out.
I thought you were giving away tablets.
No. That's fine. You give away the laptops. Those are more expensive than tablets. I'll take the person's laptop and give them a tablet.
Hey, I want a nice one, all right?
July 1st, 7 o'clock in
Where are we doing it? Because we're doing it at a different place.
Pitch 25. We're no longer at Pub Fiction. Pub Fiction, we think, is not around
apparently
anymore.
Closed.
One day I'm going to drive by there and see.
Thanks, COVID.
We found a bigger, better venue anyways.
Yeah.
The problem with Pub Fiction, we were maxing it out. We had the private room in the back and we were maxed out.
Yeah.
So
people would be a little sketched at this point if we were in Pub
people.
Fiction.
Yeah.
Because we were like right on top of each other. This is going to be a lot bigger venue. Still have the screen, still have the mic. We're going to be partnering with some other folks to really make it a big, awesome event. Ultimately, it is a bar and grill, so you're going to have some food, you have some drinks. Come out in person networking. It's crazy. This is the first time that we would have done this since the beginning of March 2020.
Yeah.
So it is over a year.
So Thursday, right? We're the first Thursday of every month moving forward. Yep. So Thursday, July 1st happens to be the first Thursday of July. 7 p.m. at Pitch 25. A ton of people there. we're doing kind of basically just big networking, and then we're doing a 30-minute open Q&A from a bunch of different experts. So come check it out. Look forward to seeing you guys all there.
Check it out. Learn more and register at disruptequity.com/July 1st.
And that's first with one ST, not the word first.
There you go. There you go. Yep. So first. And then what's coming up next week, buddy?
Talking about the demographic trends all multifamily investors should understand. So demographics are a really important part of real estate, right? We buy deals that are in fantastic demo areas, and we'll pay up for those deals. And if it's not such a great demo, that's fine. We'll buy those deals too, but we don't expect to pay up for them. So it's an important part of the business to understand for people.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely. When we first got in, right, you didn't pay as much attention to that because you're just trying to buy a deal, right? But now we're really paying attention to what's the demographic of that area? What are the statistics that are happening in that micro pocket, right? Is one of the most important things that we pay attention to now. And so we'll kind of open up our kimono and kind of talk about that. The one other thing that I wanted to mention too, MFIN conference, July 24th.
Yep. July 24th in Miami.
We're getting close.
Ben's going to come back with a big red face.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to get sunburned. I already know how this is going to go down. So check that out, www.mfinvestornetwork.com. I think we still got a coupon code, right, Shanna? Disrupt, get your $100 off. I think we're close to 250 tickets already sold.
Got a lot of interest.
So, at the end of the day, we can only max it out, I think, to 350, 400. So we've already sold out the VIP. Yep. But we're going to have a lot of great panels, a lot of great speakers, good networking opportunity, and it's in Miami. So check that out as well.
mfinvestornetwork.com. So let's see, a couple more comments before we wrap up. Jason Contreras says, hoping to hit on crypto to invest with Disrupt Equity. Come on in,
There you go, buddy. All right.
Kathy says, can I still join virtually on July 1st? TBD, we weren't planning on doing virtual. No promises there. We'll see.
Yeah, we might. Who knows, right? We've videotaped it in the past. It was a little janky. We're going to have to see. I think we're still going to have our virtual meetups, though, right, Shanna? Yeah, so we're still going to do the Texas MFM ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
let's see. So Ali says, what are the best states to move to? And this is Ali on YouTube. That's why the Facebook people aren't seeing it. What are the best states to move to start your REI journey if you are trying to escape socialist Canada?
Oh, I didn't say that. I have a lot of Canadian friends.
Go to the most landlord-friendly states, right? Texas, Florida, Georgia.
Carolinas,
Utah, Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah. Those are probably any of those that mix.
You're looking for landlord friendly.
You don't want to go to California. You don't want to go to New York. You don't want to go to Washington, right?
Yeah, landlord and tax friendly too, right?
Yeah.
I think that each has pluses and minuses, so you have to obviously do some research. But there's a reason why everybody's moving to the South, right? Absolutely. And it's not just because it's warm down here. In fact, that's probably one of the worst parts about it.
Yeah.
It's because it's a cheap cost of living, and you have a lot of awesome business opportunities down there.
Yeah. So let's see. So Trevor says we're looking forward to Miami. We are too.
It should be fun, buddy.
And let's see. Ali says we are still on lockdown. By the way, talking about Canada. Yeah.
Jeez, man, I'm sorry.
But I think you guys are getting vaccinated really quickly, so I think you guys are going to come out of lockdown sooner than later. So we'll see.
Hopefully, I've heard some news stories, but hey, we've been pretty much all business ahead for at least this whole entire year. Kids have been going back to school since August, so I wouldn't say that we're doing anything dramatically different than what people in Canada would be doing, right? Maybe the vaccine rolled out a little bit quickly down here, but who knows? So, but we want everybody to tune in next week. Demographic trends, multifamily investors should know. Right? Check out that meetup July 1st and mfinvestornetwork.com. Check out the conference, Miami, July 24th. All right.